The Degens are going to love this one. Strap in. CallofMeme. That's right. CallofMeme. Ticker comms, the meme coin that's turned PvP into pump and dump, basically. we're going to dive into it. There's no white paper. There's no shame in this one. Just Nuketown maps, leaderboard rewards, and a roadmap that screams mid-brain gameplay with moon money dreams. So alpha, exit liquidity, or straight up cope. Let's break it down. At first I was like, I kind of like the idea here, like having a browser, a mobile game. So many people have done this and so many people have failed, right? There's been so many projects that are just terrible. They release first version of the game, never update it, pump and dump, see you later. This is, well, let's get into the narrative and vision. The pitch here is a meme token with in-game maps, right? New weapons, leaderboard, prize incentives. Feels like play to earn meets retweet culture. But there's a reality check here for me, which is there's no sort of narrative beyond fun tokens, fight, and earn. Their website's whatever. It is what it is. It's just a bunch of slop. But I tried playing the game, right? And you load this up. And for the life of me, I tried literally for an hour to get into the game. And it just doesn't go anywhere. So you hit go, and I'm just kind of stuck on this map. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I know you saw that I didn't put a wallet address in. I just removed it to show you. I've tried this with multiple wallets and I have not been able to get it to load. There is apparently a game. You can see it here. I'm not going to put the sound up, but you can kind of see some of the gameplay and it looks rough, right? It looks raw. It kind of reminds me of like Quake back in the day, if you're old enough to remember that. So allegedly they have something, right? They do have a game, which is more than most of these sort of game tokens can say. It's not working for me, which isn't great for their launch. I don't know if it's just something I'm doing, but it has some narrative. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 20. They're trying, right? They've built something, but where do you go from here? Are you really going to make the game that much more amazing? You would probably play this for 5 or 10 minutes, get bored, log off, and never touch it again. So that's why I kind of dinged them on the score. Anyway, let's go more into the sort of technical side of things. The Tokenomics and Supply, it just launched today on July 24th with a $2 million market cap. So this is a micro cap token. There's a billion comms out there. There's high supply and low price, right? Which attractive to retail, but sets the stage for sort of bag holding. I can't tell you how many of these I've seen where they release, they have this pump on day one, you check back in a week, and they're 95% down. So the other red flag here for me is there's no token allocation breakdown. Could be dev heavy, so you don't know. There's no vesting info for this. It's just, here's the game, here's the token. What's coming next is there's a new map. Okay, well, I can't get the regular map to play, so whatever. Tokenomics and Supply, 6 out of 20. How many holders of this thing? 412. The other issue here is that you need a player base, right? You need people constantly playing. And with one map, I just don't see how that's going to blow up. I could be totally wrong, but we'll see. Time will tell. Tech and execution, I'm torn here on how to score this because there is a game, right? They have done something, allegedly, even though I can't play it. There is a game here. There's no I don't see any dev activity outside of sort of what they post on X. And the roadmap is just add another map, right? They have 669 followers, whatever. So I'm kind of torn here. I can't really give them a huge rating for this. They do have a game, which is a start, but it's meh, right? I can't say that this looks incredible. Hopefully this doesn't kill my audio. Let me turn that off really quick. We can full screen it. I mean, you can kind of see how it looks. It's just, it is what it is. It looks like a mobile shooter, basically. So whatever, tech and execution, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 20, and we can move on to the market structure and liquidity. Nothing really too terrible here. They're on Uniswap, which is kind of standard for these meme coins. 100% of the volume's on Uniswap. Market volume per market cap is around 15%. Again, nothing crazy there either. There's no centralized exchange listings, but we'll see if they actually are able to sort of hit those numbers. So there is some trading volume here, but you don't really know what the liquidity is like. So for that reason, I gave it a 10 out of 20 for market structure and liquidity. And we can move on to the last section, exit risk and VC stakes. I don't know who the team is. There's nothing really about the team here. You don't really get any links besides sort of their, their X profile. There's an unlock risk here, right? Probably fair for a launch, but you just never know with these sorts of things. As a game token, it's low risk in terms of regulatory stuff, but they're also kind of treading on the Call of Duty IP. So if this does get big, you can bet your butt that Call of Duty, whoever creates, I forget, is it Activision, whatever, will come after them for sort of some kind of IP violation, at least in my opinion. It's too close, right? Whether or not they ever get to that size, we'll wait and see. This depends on the hype cycle, right, around the game. And for me, it just doesn't look like there's enough there in terms of this being replayable and fun for long enough to make the token successful. So for that reason, I gave exit risk and VC stakes a 5 out of 20 for a total score of 38 out of 100. In my opinion, this is a zombie protocol. Come back to this token in a week, and I guarantee you it's probably going to be down 95%. Not saying the idea here is bad. It's just not for me. I would have waited till you had 5 maps, maybe some other features besides just a click and shoot, right? So yeah, this is one of those zombie ones for me. It looks alive. It just isn't. The roadmap's going to nowhere, and that's pretty much it for this. So call a meme ops. Still, yeah, the game doesn't load for me. So it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed this review. As always, I drop these 3 or 4 times a week. So if this is your thing, definitely consider giving my channel a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.